Hello, this is Murr171. Today I'm bringing you the Swamp Rat Rodent 4. You can see my Rodent 9 out here. I have 4 reference points, but this video is about the Rodent 4. So I will be pointing out different things throughout the video about the Rodent 9 and their similarities and differences. Now, the Rodent 4 is a much smaller knife than the Rodent 9, being 9.5 inches overall versus 15.25 inches overall that the Rodent 9 is. So, it's considerably smaller. This is what I would consider a good hunting knife, good skinning knife, and so on. It does come from Swamp Rat with its cardboard sleeve, with an inspector and a who sharpened it deal. And it is just generally a well put together knife. It's a 1/4 inch thick and made out of SR 101 steel, just like the Rodent 9 is. Its blade length is 4 5/8 inches. And of course they both have the black coating to prevent corrosion. It is a flat saber grind versus the Rodent 9's ultra convex saber bevel. Basically saying that the Rodent 9 has a convex edge, really flat convex edge. And they're very similar in a lot of ways. Now they're also vary slightly. The Rodent 9 has a wider back here. The handle is wider. Notice the bulge right here. On this guy, the bulge is not as big. The handle is, of course, shorter. See them side by side, but not much. It's got a lot of handle for being a shorter knife. Notice the hook right here is considerably more accented on the Rodent 9 versus just barely accented. The hilt here is just barely accented on the Rodent 4. Now, the Rodent 9 is a survival knife, so it's rated for chopping, structure building. You can use it as a spear strapped to a stick, etc., etc. So it's of course going to be larger. I think I've said that now 2 or 3 times, that it's larger, which obviously it's larger. But you can see that they're very similar in appearance, especially both having micarta handles that are riveted on in the same technique. Well, they are from the same manufacturer, same shop. But all in all, this is a pretty nice knife. Comes from Swamp Rat Sharp. See if we can't find a piece of paper to cut for you. I always like cutting paper for you guys and gals if you're watching. But you can see that it is cut. It did not come as sharp as the Rodent 9 did, but it did come sharp enough to cut. Of course, being SR 101 steel from Swamp Rat, it's going to be hard to dull. I am personally going to use it as a skinning knife. I have another sheath on the way just for it. I'm going to put it on my hunting vest and use it to skin game. And that's my goal there with it. Because the Rodent 9 is just, it's too large to really get in there and function in the more delicate areas of skinning, say, a white-tailed deer. And if you have to skin a squirrel or something with it, you probably cut it in half on accident. Whereas this one will be able to hook into a skin, and they'll be able to gut and skin and clean game just considerably easier with this smaller, more maneuverable knife. But you should always have, you know, your skinning knife's pretty sharp, so if you have to use, say, a Rodent 9 to survive on and chop lumber and etc., not that you're going to dull a Swamp Rat knife that easy, it will be nice to have a second knife that's still sharp. So, you know, when you do catch game to survive on, or just hunting for sport or whatever it is, you'll have a sharp knife. You won't indulge your survival equipment. You're using the right tools for the right task, basically. I think that's what I'm just trying to say. But this knife It's a nice knife. It feels pretty ergonomically sound. I think it feels more ergonomically sound than the Rodent 9 due to that slight, less accented bulge in the middle. So, I mean, that bulge, it kind of hooks between my fingers just a little too much possibly. On this one, it doesn't do that. It good maneuvering ability with it. It's got a good balance, good feel to it. I think the balance point is right here. So when you got your finger in there, you're pretty much balanced. You can see that it's balanced on my finger in the finger groove, which is really quite nice. It's just a nice knife. I think for Swamp Rat, putting this knife out at $108 and some change is a good buy. It's a solid buy. And Swamp Rat's guarantee is unparalleled by anybody, except maybe Bussy and Scrapyard Dog, since they're both, all three of those companies are, you know, subsidiaries of each other. Well, Swamp Rat and Scrapyard are subsidiaries of Bussy, so I mean, you're dealing with some very high quality knife makers who are going to take pride in their stuff, and that's nice. That's just genuinely nice all in all, because if they're going to take pride in it, you know you can too. You know it's not going to wear out on you, and that goes a long way for me, because when you're out in the bush, or if the world has gone to crap or the zombies attack, you don't want to worry about your gear failing. You got enough to worry about if dead things are chasing you across, you know, the planet. But I just wanted to show you all these side by side so that y'all would get kind of a reference of what they are side by side. And just wanted to go over the Rodent 4 and give y'all some basic information about it. And this is Mur171. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Hope y'all find these videos useful. I will show you all this sooner or later in action. And I will make more videos of this thing in action for other competitive knives that come into play against it. And we'll see what all happens with it. So thank you again. This is Mur171. Please subscribe. I'm signing off, and please feel free to leave comments. Thank you a bunch. The Swamp Rat Rodent 4. Goodbye.